we're here to talk about co-habs, pre-nups, and marriage agreements. So those are all different kinds of contracts, I guess. Could you explain what they are and what the differences are?
It sure can, Heather. I think the key to remember is that it's the only difference is in the name. Sometimes they're called a cohabitation agreement. Sometimes they're called a prenuptial agreement. Sometimes they're a marriage contract. It just depends on the context. So if you've got a couple that is not married and they're living together, we call it a cohabitation agreement. If the parties are planning to get married, we call it a prenuptial agreement. If they're already married, we call it a marriage contract, or sometimes a settlement agreement, because it's the sort of agreement that's maybe drawn up at a time of a divorce. But specifically, what I sort of want to talk to you about today is not the agreements that are being drawn up at the time of the divorce, but the agreements that are drawing up the same kind of an agreement when the parties are in a good relationship with each other at the very start of the relationship. And so that's what these agreements do. We get the parties to either have a discussion or meet with us at the start of their relationship to make rules as to how their assets will be shared between them in the event that they do happen to separate 3 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 30 years from now. And it's really good if we can do that, because generally we've got parties in a situation where they're getting along together, or they're in love with each other, or whatever, and they're more inclined to be more reasonable and take a more reasoned approach to how they want things done, rather than what their mindset's likely to be 10 years from now when they're separating and somebody is angry because of the separation or the circumstances surrounding the separation, and can be a whole different dynamic and very expensive at that point in time.